Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Gpen Connect on Glass. Hello, everybody. Today is Sunday, I hope. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you enjoy today's video, please join the Senior Stoner family. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to send a like as well if you enjoy the video, and comments are always appreciated. I reply to them all. Hello, everybody. Have you found yourself feeling angry a lot? Do you ever look around the room, look around your neighborhood, and just, you're angry, and it's an internal anger. It can be frustrating. And afterwards, after you've seen it, you still feel out of control. Well, it's an exhausting way to live. You can also end up having huge issues between you and those around you. Co-workers, friends, bosses, spouses. If you answer something like, I'm so angry because my friend didn't do what I asked him to do. The bitterness, the sound of that emotion, the trigger, let's call it, is a response. It's a response to something. You've had a reaction. It's not just a situation. Something's happened. So usually things are good, bad, or neutral. When all you're doing is rumbling through every situation, angry, hostile, you have to find a way to give yourself a reason why you have to choose anger. And then there are going to be different reasons instead of I'm always angry. But you can't go through the world, through life, through the day, even a day, being angry at everyone and everything. So let's discuss how anger is used as a mask, because people who are angry people they know 100% that they can't be doing that. They know 100% they shouldn't be doing that, acting like that. But why? Why are these emotions happening? What's behind you feeling so angry? The top thing that's behind it for most people, for the feeling of anger, believe it or not, is fear. Fear grips so many people. And anger is often caused by fear. Something happens and it scares us in some way. We feel like we're losing control, looking foolish, being in trouble, or even getting hurt. So we ask ourselves, if we're really feeling afraid, what is us that scares it the most? What is it? So you have to get into your fear. You have to understand what's happening behind the scenes, so to speak. Guess what? It's your anger. Your anger is what's happening. You let yourself feel those feelings. You don't want to stuff them down or ignore them. So you've got to have some method to deal with them. Fear is the mind's way of keeping you safe. Remember, fight or flight? Caveman heard the pounding of the ground from Tyrannosaurus Rex. He was either frozen like this and got eaten, or he ran. Sometimes you can't fight it, okay? So once you understand that it's far better to explore your fear thoughts than to allow yourself to get angry at everyone, you'll be moving in a better direction. People lash out and people feel angry because they think they're powerless. Well, powerless people, believe it or not, have power because they figured out they're powerless in their own minds. So they have to climb out of the mind saying, I'm powerless, and look at themselves and go, wait a second, I analyzed that pretty clearly and found that I was powerless. How can I be powerless then? It's a feeling of powerlessness that percolates, let's call it, in the back of our minds, okay? And we need release for that. And guess what the release is? You feel and act angry to anyone around you. And you know what that does? That simply is a negative feeling that you've bottled up, and there's no reason to give it to those people who just happen to be nearby. So if you find yourself overreacting to situations, Maybe do the check-in with yourself and say to yourself, am I feeling powerless in a different situation? Is this why I'm kind of angry here? Am I feeling frustrated like that? Because frustration is the other big thing that makes people angry. You get frustrated with something, frustrated with someone. Well, guess what? In life, it happens. We live a cyclical life. It's a circle. A lot happens on that circle around. But you get two things at the top when you go over. You get hope and opportunity. So you have to understand that a lot of crap can happen on the circle of life. But you have opportunity and hope to change it. We can do anything, human beings. Get our fingers on the windowsill and you can get in the window. So you've got to remember to think about these things when it's happening. What do I want to achieve in this situation? Just do a hard stop when you're being angry like that. And you'll say to yourself, wait a second. Isn't there something positive I can do? Why am I letting the imagination go negative? Why am I letting fear take over? Well, guess what? Focus on the obstacle. Focus on what's infuriating you. And you know what you're going to find in a lot of cases? Anger is from, believe it or not, stuff totally unrelated to who you're angry at. Believe it or not. It'll be related to something 30 years ago. That's a pebble in your shoe. Or annoys you every night before you go to bed in your mind. Because anger is often associated with pain from the past. A traumatic experience. Think about it. If you've had it and never dealt with it, it's still there. You were abused as a child, for example, or felt abandoned as a child. Well, you're going to feel that same way now towards somebody, believe it or not, because of that. A person is just so angry at the entire world due to something that happened a long time ago that it's hard to get in with two hands and grab it and say, stop it. Very hard. It's like grabbing a cloud. It's like trying to grab smoke. So you know what? They hit out at everyone. The angry person is in constant pain, doesn't know how to solve it, and is angry at everyone. But in reality, they're angry at no one. They're not even angry at themselves. They're just going through all these things that are very hard to deal with. It's like coping with grief, but not understanding how to cope with grief. Because grief isn't always about losing someone. Grief is when you lose who you used to be. Grief is when you realize, oh my God, I'm unable to do whatever my fantasy was. Grief is when you realize that you can't run anymore. You can't swim anymore. Grief is when we are sorrowful for the things we had that we no longer have. So you know what? It comes in so many different ways. But we must remember the next time you find yourself overly angry with something minor, it's not about that. You'll say maybe, what does it remind me of? Maybe there's an odor or a voice that sounds similar to the one way, way, way long ago that you're angry about. And ease off on those people around us who don't know why you're angry. What does it remind you of? Am I dealing with grief? You just might be. We have to remember that anger sometimes because we just had bad habits. You know what the habit that's the worst habit is? That's not my fault, it's your fault. What are you talking about? I didn't do it, he did it. Me? Never. That is a very bad habit. Okay? So you got used to reacting to anger and hostility towards you by denying you did anything. I'm not even here. I'm not seeing your stoner. I'm not breathing and talking. You were that bad, that serious about your denials. Well, guess what? That was a bad habit. That's how you tried to handle anger. Guess what? That doesn't work now. Now it manifests itself. It comes out. So we have been feeling overwhelmed. We've been feeling exhausted. It's all coming to the brink. And we're going to be angry because of that. We're going to lash out at whoever we're near. We might even be jealous of people who don't have anger. We don't see them in pain. We don't see them with no money. We don't see them sick. And you know what you want to also still seek as an adult, as a 63-year-old person? You want to seek approval. Whether it's from daddy, whether it's from mommy, whether it's from the great gazoo. We humans are all trying to seek some sort of approval. Hopefully it's from yourself. But we're out there looking for validation. And when we don't get it, and by the way, I hear crickets chirping because I'm not getting it. I don't get it. It doesn't happen. Life is not going to validate you. You got to validate yourself. So the anger that we have, it's a full circle. It's amazing. The full circle we have coming around after we've hurt all these people and we're angry at them is all because of our hurt. And all because of the anger people have felt to us, the manipulation they've done to us, our bad health, whatever it is. But nothing to do with the poor people around us who've had to deal with it. Boy, being angry, it's terrible. It's overwhelming. It's excruciating. And frankly, it's unfair. So let's take a big dab out of our Gpen Connect, and I hope you enjoyed our discussion today about what makes us angry. What's the root of anger? Let's take it on the glass with a double click on the red zone. Here we go. And we're already, you can see, on the dab train. We're on the dab train. Here we go. Excuse me. I should have known not to take a big hit. Makes me angry. Thanks again for watching The Real Senior Stoner. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion. Cheers, everybody. Have a great Sunday.